I'm such trash. I know. They are just guilting me every time I see them on my shelf. I just see people talking about it, I see people heartbroken over it, and I just want some of that. Lesbian necromancers. Hello. So I was just sitting here doing my new reading journal for 2021, which I'm really excited about. I started a reading journal in like September last year and I really enjoyed it. And this year I've made the switch to a digital journal, which I am just absolutely loving putting together. And I was just out here putting together a rough TBR for the year of series in particular that I want to get to this year. And then I was like, okay, why don't I just put this in a video, because mainly the reason I wanted to make a video on this was to hold myself accountable throughout the year and at the end of the year, just because I've said before, TBRs are something I have trouble sticking to. I just never seem to be able to stick to them, and I thought if I could put this in a video, it's also in my journal, I can really hold myself accountable as best as I can, and it'll be interesting then at the end of the year to see how well I actually did. So this is kind of a mixture of series that either I want to start and hopefully finish this year, and there's a couple that I started last year and I'd like to finish, because I really hate leaving series unfinished. It's something that really bothers me, particularly fantasy series, which is what most of these, if not all of them, are, and it annoys me that I do it myself. There's not many that I've left unfinished, but there are a couple, so I have them here on my journal and I will talk you through them. If you've read any of these and any of them are ones that I need to get to ASAP, let me know. Yeah, so let's go. So first up is one that I'm really excited to get to, and that is Mistborn Era 2. I love Mistborn. I love Mistborn so much. I've turned into a Brandon Sanderson stan, as we all know. I love every one of his books I've read, and I've pretty much read most of the main Cosmere books so far. I've read Mistborn Era 1, I'm caught up on Stormlight, I have read Warbreaker, and the ones I really want to get to next are Mistborn Era 2 and Elantris, which is a standalone at the moment. And yeah, so Mistborn Era 2 is one that I really want to get to in the next couple of months. I'm planning my reread of Era 1 this month / next month, like across the 2 months hopefully, and I'm really excited because it was one of my standout favourites from last year, and I'm just excited to go back into the world and meet new characters and see what else is going on and learn new things, and I'm so excited. So that's definitely a priority and one that I'm going to get to pretty soon, hopefully. Next is one that is a fantasy romance, and I actually read the first book of at the start of this year, and it was the first book of my 2021, and that is Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And the first book was gift for Christmas, and I loved this so much. I read it really fast, like it's like a fairly chunky book, and I read it so fast I could not put it down. I loved the actual fantasy romance, I love the romance aspect of it, and the characters I really enjoyed. I actually really liked the world too. I know some people don't like the world or the world building, I actually really liked it. I've been looking for a vampire book for a long time. This is giving me vampire romance vibes, and in the best way, and I've already ordered book 2, which will be coming in the next week or two. I think it was out of stock, and I'm just waiting for book 2, and then book 3 is out in April, I think, and so this is one I know for sure I'm going to finish, because it's just so easily digestible and something that I can just get through pretty fast and really just have fun with. It's not really one that I'm looking for, like, I'm not looking to gain anything from it, it's just fun, and yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I've already got one book down. So one I kind of wanted to get to last year but I didn't get around to it was Shadow and Bone, which people have a lot of mixed opinions on Shadow and Bone. I haven't read any of them yet, but I'm kind of excited about it, and I feel like it kind of sounds like something I would really enjoy. But a couple of my friends really hate it, a couple of my friends really like it, and I'm curious to see which side of the fence I fall on with it, and especially now because there's finally a date for the TV show that's coming on Netflix, I need to catch up in the next couple of months. So I'm really hoping to get to that sooner rather than later, because I'd like to watch the show after having read the books. So hopefully I can get that done, fingers crossed. Yeah, so Shadow and Bone is one. And then I would also like to finish Six of Crows, because I read Six of Crows last year, but I haven't read Crooked Kingdom yet, so I would also like to get that done. So I think maybe next month I would like to get Shadow and Bone and Crooked Kingdom done. Maybe. We'll see. I'm really just setting myself massive goals, and I just don't know if I can stick to them. But either way, I would like to get those done before I watch the TV show. So we'll see how that goes, I guess. Another one is the Lunar Chronicles, which I bought the full series of in physical. I bought it secondhand last year, probably like April, May last year. I bought them all and I have not touched them. They've just been sitting in my room, haven't touched them, and I'm starting to feel some serious guilt because I need to read them. Because A, everyone always says they're really good. B, they come right up my alley in terms of the kind of fairy tale thing. And C, because I've had them for so bloody long, that they are just guilting me every time I see them on my shelf. So I need to get to those, at least start those this year. I think what puts me off is I'm kind of scared of the sci-fi aspect of it. I'm not a sci-fi gal. I'm kind of nervous about that, but I've heard really great things, and apparently the characters are really good, and yeah, and what always makes me laugh, so again, I haven't read any of these books, but I always, without fail, see somebody mention on Twitter something about putting one of the robots or somebody into rice because they get wet, and I don't know, it seems really funny, but random tangent, but I would like to get to it. Don't know that I will, because it's just one of those things that always gets put on the back burner, like it's never at the front of my memory until I see it on my shelf. I'm like, oh, and then the guilt sets in and I just need to get to it. So hopefully that'll happen, but we'll see. What I'd like to start this year is the Locked Tomb series. I think it's called the Locked Tomb series, the Locked Tomb trilogy. Gideon the Ninth I have here. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know much about the plot of this series at all. I just see it talked about on Twitter all the time. I see fan art all the time, and I'm like, I need this. Katie, in particular, if you were watching this, you were really just putting this to the forefront of my memory, and I just need it. I think it seems just like. So it says on the back, the Emperor needs necromancers. The ninth necromancer needs a swordswoman. Gideon has a sword, some dirty magazines, and no more time for undead nonsense. And then it says, Gideon the Ninth unveils a solar system of swordplay, cutthroat politics, and lesbian necromancers. I'm sorry. Yes? Like, are you kidding me? This sounds badass, and I think I'm gonna love it. It seems very different to anything I've read before, but it just seems like something that I'm gonna read and be like, where has this been all my life? And I'm really excited about it. But I do think the third book, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the third book was postponed until like 2022 or something, which is kind of upsetting because I hate waiting for series to finish. Like, I much prefer to read a series that's already done, just because I can then just read them all. Yeah, I think the third book is not going to be out for a while, which is kind of upsetting, but I'm still really excited to read them. I think this will definitely be a priority for my year because the vibes. So one that I started last year and I would like to finish, or at least get a dent done in pretty soon, is Throne of Glass, because as we all know, I am an ACOTAR stan. I'm such trash, I know, but there's just something about it that just reeled me in and just did it for me, and I love it so much. I'm also currently on my reread in preparation for the new book in February, and I started Throne of Glass in, I want to say, October of last year, and I read the first book and I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 3-star. Like, it was definitely clearly a debut. Like, you could definitely see the improvement in Akatar, but it was not bad by any means. It was just like some little issues I had, but it was a fun time and I really enjoyed it, and I was really excited to read the next book. But then for whatever reason, it kept getting pushed to the wayside for other things. I don't quite know why, but I just never then went back to it, which is kind of the problem I think I have with starting a series and not reading them all in one go. I find myself then forgetting about it and keeping putting it off, whereas if I say to myself, right, I'm going to read this series and I read them all consecutively, it's a lot easier for my brain, just because then I'm sticking to something and I'm not coming back and forth, which is not something I think I can do. So I think with the rest of Throne of Glass, it's gonna have to be a case of me picking a month and going, right, this is the Throne of Glass month, and reading them all, because I don't want to read like a couple of books and then wait, and then like, it's been several months now since I read the first book. I don't want that to happen again because it kind of sucks. So I think I'm gonna have to set aside like a mini Throne of Glass readathon at some point. If anyone wants to join me on that, feel free, let me know, drop me a DM, I'm down. I think I just need to get it all done in one fell swoop rather than coming back and forth with it. So I think I'll have to do that at some point. But I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a fun time. Another one is An Ember in the Ashes, which is one that I see all the time. I see people crying over, I see people sad over, and I'm like, look, give me the emotions. I love a book that's going to rip my heart out. I love a book that's going to make me cry. It's my favourite thing in the world. I'll say I hate it, but secretly I love it. And this is one that I always see people devastated over, and I'm like, look, I need me a slice of that action. So I have the first 3 books on Kindle, and I don't have the last one because I think it only came out in like November or December, and I'm pretty excited about it. I don't actually know anything about the plot. Again, I just see people talking about it, I see people heartbroken over it, and I just want some of that in my life. So I think I would like to start that this year, because I'm getting really into fantasy, and whether that's adult fantasy or YA fantasy, I don't really care, but and now it's a finished series, I feel happy and safe to start it, just in case I end up loving it and then I want to binge it, and I'm not stuck with it, no books to read, so I would like to get to that. A couple more that I would like to finish this year are the Illuminati Files, which I read Illuminati back in September maybe, and I really enjoyed it. It was a great time, loved that a lot, and I have the other 2 books and I just haven't read them yet, but I'm really excited for when I get round to that, because they just, from what I read in Illuminati, it's just a fun time. I really like the style of storytelling and the mixed media. I think the books are beautiful, I think the story is great, and I'm excited for the rest. Another one that I would like to finish is The Poppy War, because I read the first book months ago, haven't read the other 2 yet, and again, it's a case of, look, everyone always says these books are heartbreaking, everyone always says these books will tear you to shreds, and again, that's what I want. I just want something. By the way, if you have any recommendations for books or series that will ruin me in the best way, please just let me know. I'm literally always looking for books that are going to make me cry, because it's just, you know when you get so wrapped up in something and then it just, I don't know, it's probably really masochistic of me. I just like being torn to shreds, apparently. But if you have any recommendations. But yeah, The Poppy War, I really enjoyed the first book. I really enjoyed the story and the characters, and I'm particularly excited to see now what happens following the end of The Poppy War. But I'm also just, I think the reason I haven't finished it is just because I'm scared. I think I am just scared of what's to come, but at the same time I'm really excited, and I think it's going to be great. So yeah, that'll be a good one, and one I would like to get finished this year. A couple of other ones that I've just kind of tacked on because I would like to get to them, but I don't think they're really much of a priority for me, and those are The Diviners, A Darker Shade of Magic, and The Wrath and the Dawn. These are all ones that I have. I think I have at least. I have the first Dark Shade of Magic book, I have both of the Wrath and the Dawn books, and I have a couple of the Diviners books, I think, but I'm excited about all of them. So the Diviners I don't really know too much about. My friend Isenia read the first book for Halloween and she loved it. She thought it was incredible, so high hopes for that. Again, I don't really know anything about it. I think it's kind of spooky, but I don't know, I could be completely wrong. A Dark Shade of Magic, I know nothing about that either. I see people talking about it all the time. It's really hyped up. And then The Wrath and the Dawn, I bought both of these books ages ago. They were on sale on Kindle. And again, I just love YA fantasy. I have kind of hit a little bit of a wall with YA fantasy in some places. Like, I feel like I've got a lot pickier with my YA fantasy, but I feel like this is one that I don't see talked about that much, but when it is talked about, people love it. And yeah, so I'm excited about that one. Also, the covers for those books are beautiful. Yeah, so I'd like to get that done, I think. And I think that's all the series I have on my list right now. There are obviously other series that I will probably start and not finish throughout the year, and other series that I'll discover, but these are kind of the main ones that are my priority, I guess, for this year, and I would like to make a dent in them. Don't know how successful I will be, but I would like to try and hold myself accountable here publicly. If you've read any of these, let me know, because help me prioritize what I need to get to first. And yeah, like I said, anyone wants to join me on a Throne of Glass readathon 1 month of your choosing, please just let me know. But yeah, thank you for watching me ramble on about books that I know nothing about today because I have a habit of going, I want to read this, but not actually knowing what it's about. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!